Hey everyone, how's it going? Kevin here with Push to Talk. I am here for my weekly AEW Dynamite review, so let's just dive straight into it. So the first segment on this week's episode was Bobby Fish versus CM Punk. This was a really great match. It was really slow, really well paced. We got a lot of offense from Bobby Fish in this match. That offense from Fish eventually built to a great tope suicida from CM Punk, which I didn't expect to see. Fish was able to regain control after this moment in the match, though, when he tripped Punk up on the apron. The match started to gain a good amount of momentum from here, as I thought it was building out to the climax. Punk hit a leg lariat and then a knee in the corner, followed by a short arm clothesline. He then signals for the go to sleep, but Fish counters the go to sleep with a dragon screw. I thought that was a really cool counter to the go to sleep. Anytime we can get any kind of dragon screw leg whip in there, though, I am happy. And I thought this was a really great use of that move to counter. At the end of the match, Fish escapes a pin, a bridge pin from Punk. But Punk kind of wraps him up with the GTS. His knee is damaged, though, so when he hits that GTS, he has a hard time going for the pin. He is able to get that pin on Bobby Fish, though, for the 1-2-3, and Bobby Fish kicks out right at 3, so that's pretty cool. Fish still looks really strong here. CM Punk got the win. I thought this was a good, solid match. Nothing to write home about, nothing particularly amazing, but I did like it. I didn't think it was bad. I liked the pacing a lot. Good stuff here. From there, we have a promo from Malachi. He's backstage. He's saying this whole feud with Cody isn't about pinfalls, and it's more about making the people turn on Cody, which he successfully did. So I liked that a lot too. Kind of made up for him losing to Cody last week. Next, we have a match between MJF and Bryce Donovan. I don't know who Bryce Donovan is. Just some local guy, I'm sure. This was a super quick match. MJF opened up with the fake handshake, but then from there, of course, he didn't actually shake the guy's hand. He just went to town on him. He quickly hit the heat seeker and pinned him 1-2-3 from there. He then grabs the mic and tears down Boston. Some of the stuff he said was offensive, but also entertaining at the same time, which MJF does so well. He runs down Darby, and he says he's going for the world title once he's done dealing with Darby. The lights go out, and we think Sting is going to come, but no, this is actually just a setup from MJF. While he starts laughing, though, the lights go out for real this time, and we get a clip from Darby, some weird thing where he's at, like, some concert or something. I'm not really sure what that was all about. Once the lights come back on, we have Sting in the ring, and he attacks MJF, Shawn Spears, and Wardlow with the bat. Darby's in the crowd, and he attacks as well. He grabs a skateboard deck that's got a bunch of thumbtacks on the bottom of it, which we've seen him do before, and I really like, and he clobbers Wardlow in the back with it. This was really good stuff, and he issues the challenge for MJF at Full Gear. Then we have Britt Baker backstage with Tony Schiavone. It's announced that there's going to be a trick or treat match with Abaddon on Rampage this coming Friday. I guess that means that this is going to be a no DQ match, so I think that's going to be pretty fun. I think last time we saw Abaddon in this kind of situation, or maybe it wasn't even a no DQ match. I think it was like on a dark match or something. It was back during like the height of the pandemic, when Abaddon actually like took a bite out of one of the other wrestlers. I wonder if we're going to see something like that here with this week's episode of Rampage being kind of that Halloween theme, this being a trick-or-treat match, so who knows, we'll see. In the next match, we have Ethan Page versus Sammy Guevara. I thought this was the best serious match of the entire night. We'll get to what I think the best match was, but that match was not serious at all. But as far as a serious, good pro wrestling match goes, this was the best one of the night. We have Sammy sprinting down to the ring and immediately just lays in on Ethan Page here with a knee followed by a dive right up over the top rope. He's wasting no time in this match. We get a stiff attack from Sammy Guevara to Ethan Page on the outside. I almost said Adam Page. Ethan Page on the outside before the bell rings. Once they're in, the bell rings and the action for the match begins. We get a really cool spot from Sammy in this match where he lifts Page up like he's going to do a sidewalk slam, but he instead kicks him in the back as he drops him. I thought that was really cool, and I don't think I've ever seen that before, so props to Sammy for that one. Paige answers back, though, from this move by hitting a backbreaker over across the top turnbuckle onto Sammy, and it looks super painful, so I like that a lot. Sammy also hits a shooting star press to Ethan Page on the outside, which was absolutely nuts and dangerous. I thought that was really cool. Sammy just pulls off like the most crazy, dangerous, scary moves, like pretty much in every match that he has. So good on you, Sammy, for that. There's a point towards the end of the match where Paige goes for an avalanche ego's edge, but Sammy actually counters it with a Hurricane Rana. And Sammy bridges Ethan Page for the win, as we all kind of suspected would happen. From there, out comes Scorpio Sky, followed by the Inner Circle, and an altercation begins. Jericho ends up grabbing the mic after this, and he cuts down Page. There's going to be the 5v5 match between the Inner Circle and American Top Team at Full Gear, and it's going to be a no DQ match, so I'm looking forward to that. I think a no DQ is a good stipulation to have for MMA guys who aren't, necessarily trained as professional wrestlers, because it lets them kind of like work behind that stipulation a little bit, if that makes sense. It gives them the chance to use weapons and kind of like not actual wrestling moves. So I think that's a good idea on AEW's part to help kind of hide some of the weaknesses of those new pro wrestlers. In the next segment, we are backstage with Tony Schiavone, Bryan Danielson, and Eddie Kingston, and we get great promos from both Danielson and Eddie Kingston. I thought this was really good. I'm really, really looking forward to this world title eliminator match between these two. I think since Bryan Danielson has debuted in AEW, he has consistently put on the best matches in every episode on whatever he's on, like even Dark included. Like this last week's episode of Dark where he wrestled Aaron Solo, they put on a barn burner of a match. It really seems that Bryan Danielson is kind of like a master at bringing out the best in whoever he's up against. And as we know, Eddie Kingston is just an absolute boss in the ring. So I'm really excited to see how this match goes down. It's a little bit of clash of styles, but Bryan Danielson being like so diverse in his moveset, I think he's going to adapt to the way Eddie Kingston wrestles really, really well, and I think we're going to get some kind of like all Japan straight strong style match out of these guys, so I'm really looking forward to that one on Friday. We get a commercial, but then once we're back, we have the Lucha Bros backstage cutting a promo with Tony Schiavone. Really great stuff here from the Lucha Bros. I have no idea what Pentagon is saying. I do not speak Spanish, but this dude speaks with such fire and such like vigor in his promos that I love it. I don't even need to understand what he's saying to be able to enjoy a Pentagon promo. So really great stuff here. The next match, we have Serena Deeb versus Shida. This was awesome. I know in AEW we don't get the greatest women's matches. This, though, was absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed this. There's a moment early on in the match where Deeb just gets a total face full of the ring post. I thought she was going to come up busted open, but she didn't. It did look really, really good, though. I don't know if she actually hit or not, but it looked really convincing. Shida brings Deeb back into the ring after that with a suplex up over the top rope, just because she's awesome like that. Both wrestlers are really pulling out all the stops in this match, and they're really showing their abilities. I couldn't even name the number of moves that they pulled off in this match. It was just boom, boom, boom. Really great stuff from these two. We even get a great figure 4 around the ring post from Serena Deeb, which I can't remember the last time I've actually seen that. So similar to what we saw with the torture rack from Powerhouse Hobbs on Rampage, I think it was. It was cool to see this figure 4 around the ring post here. Kind of a callback thing. It's been a while, so I popped for that. There's another great moment where Deeb counters a Shida knee strike and actually reverses it into a half crab. This looked really fluid and really good, and the crowd popped big for it, and they really started to get behind the match at this point. We even got "This is awesome" chants, so really, really great stuff here. The match ends when Shida rolls Deeb up for the pin after an exchange with the 50th win trophy. I thought that was pretty cool. Great story stuff here. Deeb then attacks the knee of Shida after the match with a chair. So obviously, I think in Shida's next couple of matches, or maybe even one left in this TBS title tournament, she's really going to be favoring that knee. Really great psychology and storytelling here. Double thumbs up from me. Overall, I thought this was a fantastic match. Again, I'm a big fan of the figure four on the ring post. And of course, like I said, all of the different moves that they pulled off in this match. It was absolutely insane. These are two really, really great world-class wrestlers. In the next segment, we have Dante Martin and Lio Rush backstage. I guess Mike Sydal is hurt, so we're going to get another Matt Sydal versus Dante Martin singles match coming up next week, which I'm on board for. The next match was 10 versus Moxley. I was a little bit disappointed in this one. Mox went straight into a release German suplex right off the bat on this, and Mox just goes straight to a brawl from there. He rips off the mask of 10, or rips a hole in it, and then begins to bite the forehead on 10. When they are back in the ring, 10 is just an absolute bloody mess. He is pouring blood. Mox quickly jumps on him with offense and then hits the paradigm shift for the win. This match was way, way, way too short. I think 10 needs to be treated like a bigger deal. If you watch him wrestle on Dark, he is an absolute powerhouse. So it's kind of a waste to see him, just get destroyed by Moxley like this. I get Mox as the big star, but I think this should have gone on a little bit longer. Maybe the blood had something to do with it. After the match, they were kind of putting gauze on 10's face. He could have cut himself too deep because he was really, really gushing here. But regardless, I love seeing blood in pro wrestling. As you all know, it's one of my favorite things. I think it adds to the drama a lot. But unfortunately, this match was just way too short. In the next segment, we have FTR backstage cutting a promo on the Lucha Bros. Nothing special here. After that, we have Cody in the ring. His pyro was so loud, though, when he came out, I couldn't hear the crowd reaction, but we certainly heard what the crowd reaction was once we were back from the break. They were just hitting him with boos like crazy. Cody actually answers this with cutting a really great and really real feeling promo. He says he hears the boos, he sees what's going online, he's not ignoring this, but he also says that he's never going to turn heel because that's just who he is. He apologizes to the Nightmare family and to Arn Anderson, kind of saving face here in the eyes of the fans, I think, in a lot of ways. I really, really liked this, actually. It was really real from Cody, and he's not my favorite wrestler in the world, especially as of late with all of his kind of mainstream kind of BS that he does. But this I enjoyed a lot. So in the middle of the promo, Andrade comes out for a confrontation. He gets in the ring and then the lights go out. Malachi appears next to Andrade, which I love that pairing a lot. Malachi hits Cody with the Black Mist, but then Pat comes out for the save. I'm really excited and curious to see where this feud goes. This is probably one of my favorite feuds in AEW right now, honestly. Because Malachi Black is one of my favorite wrestlers, but I like how they're building the psychology in this storyline and really getting real with it. Especially when Malachi talked earlier in the night about saying, this wasn't about pinfalls, it's about getting the fans to turn on Cody, and that's exactly what happened. Really great blurring of the lines here. I think all the best pro wrestling storytelling has that blurring of the lines in it. So really great stuff here. I can't wait to see where they go from here. And on to the main event, which was my personal favorite match of the night. This was 100% a comedy match from bell to bell, which is kind of what I was hoping it would be. We had first the Dark Order making their entrance. Stu Grayson is dressed up like Kratos. He really looks like Kratos. That guy can pull off a Kratos for sure. I thought that was super funny. Of course, John Silver was Bambi like he said he was going to be. I thought that was really funny too. What also made me laugh was Colt Cabana was dressed up like Brandon Cutler and even had the cold spray. Super funny. And Evil Uno was a cowboy. Super great stuff here. The Elite come out and they're the Ghostbusters, kind of coming out to their own version of the Ghostbusters song, and they're wearing the proton packs, which played a big role in this match, actually. It's super funny because when the bell rings, the guys are actually still wearing their Halloween costumes and wrestling in them. Super funny. I don't know how the heck Evil Uno kept his cowboy hat on the entire match, but he did, so that was great. Even when Kenny Omega first comes in the ring, he's wearing the proton pack, and he actually uses it at one point. So I thought that was super funny. Lots and lots and lots of comedy matches stuff in this match. I didn't even list out all of the funny things that happened because like literally every spot was pretty much a comedy spot, and the crowd was absolutely eating it up, and so was I. I know a lot of people aren't fans of comedy in pro wrestling. I personally love it because the nature of pro wrestling in general, like, it's kind of a silly thing when you step back and think about it. So it only makes sense that comedy would play such a large role in wrestling, especially in matches like this. I mean, obviously we have Colt Cabana in here, and he's kind of one of the premier comedy wrestlers in the world. And even Kenny Omega, the way he does comedy, he's absolutely brilliant. JR didn't sound too enthusiastic about all of the comedy and shenanigans in this match, but I loved it, and I thought it was super funny. I loved the triple low blow that happened, and I loved the power bomb from the Elite to Colt Cabana on the proton packs. Didn't think I would ever see that in wrestling, but lo and behold, they did it here, and it was excellent and super, super funny. The end of this match was pure brilliance. I loved this. The Dark Order came out for a save after the referee went down, including someone in a horse mask. This person in the horse mask ended up taking a majority of the punishment from the Elite, including a BTE trigger. Once they pull the mask off that horse, though, it's revealed that it's Brandon Cutler, and he has duct tape over his mouth. And it's funny because the Elite are just kind of like, oh no, and then they just throw him aside like he doesn't even matter. So that's the way they should treat the Stooge. I thought that was really, really funny. As this is all going down, the Michelin Man pops up from behind, and it's revealed that it is Adam Page in the blow-up Michelin Man costume. So that was really, really funny. Adam Page assists the Dark Order to pick up the win. John Silver, I think, pinned Matt Jackson, I think it was. So that was absolutely amazing and absolutely the right call. I thought this was super funny. I love shenanigans like this. Pro wrestling should have its silly moments. And, the way that they handle silliness and comedy in AEW is so brilliant and so on the nose. When they do comedy in WWE, I feel kind of embarrassed watching it a lot of the time, and it's kind of cringy, and I don't think it's funny, but AEW just have this, like, and the Elite specifically, and the Dark Order have this level of self-awareness in their comedy that is so on the nose and so funny, and it appeals so much to, like, adult wrestling fans like myself. So double thumbs up from this. I loved the end of Dynamite. It had me laughing, and if anything that can make me laugh, I think it's a good thing. So really thumbs up to those guys on this one. Great episode of Dynamite overall. I cannot wait for Rampage for that Bryan Danielson and Eddie Kingston match. I'm calling it right now. I think that's going to be the match of the week. So anyway, thanks so much for hanging in here with me while I knock out this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit me up on Instagram. I'm Push to Talk One, and I'll see you all next time.